Hello, I'm Icreate and I'm standing outside of my restaurant. In my last video, I built a hot pot restaurant. Here we can see it on the lake. It looks quite nice. And in this video, I'm going to expand upon this whole area and build a road system, a slime shop, a bakery, and a little cat shop. I'm also going to build plenty of space for my next episode. I also found a really fantastic mod called Icreate. There's so many fantastic choices available for furniture, different things in shops, and building blocks too. I think it's a very interesting mod that will certainly help my builds in the future, and in this episode too. So let's get started and build the roads. My initial idea is to build the road system quite large around the hot pot restaurant. This is going to be an area for cars and pedestrians alike. So with the Yuushya mod, I'm going to use their road blocks to build quite an interesting road system around the hot pot restaurant. It takes a little while digging out all of the grass and then placing the asphalt down, but I think it's an important thing to do. This road system looks quite nice so far. I'm happy with that. It's essentially 11 blocks in width. 2 marble on the left and 2 marble on the right, and then 7 asphalt blocks in the middle. Each lane of traffic should have 3 blocks in order for a car to sit on it. You saw me testing the car a minute ago. If the road's too small, the cars don't fit and it looks weird, and if the road's too big, the cars and traffic look a bit misplaced, so it's got to be a fairly sized road. Here is a traffic stop. That's for people crossing the road to get over to the other side. I'm going to keep this bit, but I'm going to edit things in a minute. Don't forget the safety with the little rings so people don't drop into the water. Here you can see an overview of what I'm doing. It takes an absolutely ridiculous amount of time, but once it's finished, it does look pretty sweet. Here's a nice connecting bit to connect the restaurant to this road as well. I think it's important to have 2 or 3 of these so people can get to the restaurant easily. Once that's finished, I'll connect it with some wooden planks and then add a couple of trees just outside. Here's the traffic stop for the other side. Then I'm going to build a little sweet shop just on the bridge. I don't exactly know what they're called, tell me in the comments. Let's go back to the other area. I'm going to build a bike stand for a few bikes, a little tree, and then I'm going to add a hammock between a couple of trees. Alongside the Yuushya mod, I'm going to use something called Icreate. I don't know the name exactly, but it has a lot more furniture and different features you can add. When that's done, I'm going to go and expand this bit of the road over here. This is where I'm going to put my little row of shops and the slime shop, which I'm going to get to in a minute. This is a service road, and it's not as large as the other one. That's something I'm thinking about. The size of the roads are maybe too big around the hot pot restaurant. Now I'm going to mark out some spaces for the shops. There's going to be 3 shops in total, and that yellow one there is the slime shop, or it will be in a minute. The one next to it is going to be a bakery for lots of bread. That's not going to be as big as the other one. And the final one is going to be my cat haven. Behind the shops, I'm going to add a few roads, and then I'm going to work on this weird grass structure. This is going to be a raised building for my next episode. Just a quick hint, that's going to be a school. It looks hideous, but I will absolutely carve that into a wonderful school another time. Here you can see I'm adding the service road behind the shops and working on the side road a little bit. It's important I have a simple crossing as well so people can cross the road. Now comes a very painful part of the build. I want to have a truck sitting on this service road. So with the compass, I'm trying to work out exactly the angle to place the truck. Apparently you can put them down east to west. So I've got to be absolutely careful when placing this truck down. I'm east to west, or roughly, going to place the truck down and oh no. The truck is just in the wall, so I have to destroy all of that. What a mess. So instead of using the truck generator, I'm going to put the truck down myself, slowly and painstakingly. I'll resize the shop a little bit and then add all of the stuff for the truck. I think it looks good like this, but it's just a standard truck. I don't want the standard truck, I want to have my own unique truck. So what I decide to do is change the head of the truck, then I'm going to remove all of these blocks, which are absolutely unnecessary, and replace it with a flatbed style of truck. This is going to be an open truck with loads of things inside. It's moving day, so everybody needs boxes of stuff, don't they? Spending a little time putting packages on there, a few chairs, upside down objects for the house, planks and weird things too, anything I think that will be used on a moving day. Then I'll put the final bit of the truck up, which is basically just a fence. I'll stick in a little guitar on the side because people need that, and some paintings. Now at this point, I'm sad to say I'm going to remove this entire road and rebuild it to be more like a service road. I mentioned before that the service roads are a little bit more manageable, you know? around the restaurant is going to be a bit more scenic, so why has it got this giant street? Again, it does take a long time fixing all of the road. I've got to change the grass and move all the blocks back, but I want to have a service road here, not a giant, massive, dangerous, crazy road. It needs to be scenic around the restaurant. Not all of it, but just this bit here, you know? So go back round with the asphalt, make sure the corners are all decent. I feel such a fool. I'll re-add the marble, and now it's done. But it's not done, is it? Because I'm going to build an avenue. Now, an avenue is a larger road that has a lot more traffic. And here, I'm going to explode it with TNT, which makes an absolute mess. And I'm going to have to spend a long time fixing this, but the avenue is large. And I don't want it just flush to the ground. I want it a bit sunken. I feel that a sunken highway would benefit the city a bit. It looks nice, doesn't it, this way? Add plenty of road markings. This particular avenue is going to have 4 lanes of traffic, 2 going that way and 2 coming back the other way. Now in Japan, they drive on the left-hand side of the road, just like the UK, so I'm going to be aware of that. Once the avenue is finished with relatively simple road markings, I'll add a nice bridge that goes over it. That's for the street. The street and the avenue may connect at some point in the future, but not now, it's just going over the avenue. I think it looks pretty, and Yuushya mod does a very good job at handling the roads, actually. The ramp's a bit silly, it has a bit of a lump, but I think it looks good. On the avenue itself, I'm going to add a few cars. A nice yellow one underneath and a red one there. Put some railings in between the entire thing, add some of those traffic things with water, then stick a bunch of white cars on the road too. My avenue looks pretty good. It connects nicely to the rest of the town, and it doesn't make too much of a mess. It's out the way. Now that the avenue's finished, I'm going to finish the rest of the roads as well. I don't want to spend too long on the roads, but I need to beautify it with some streetlights as well. So I'll head over all the way behind the restaurant to make sure the streetlights are nicely lit, and then I'll add a nice simple table in this area with a little drink and a newspaper. I think that's quite quaint. Back at the highway, I'll add some street lights in the middle of the road, because it's got to be lit up of a night, hasn't it? Otherwise we're in trouble. I'll add a simple street light on the street, and then you can see I've added some little road markings too. I want it nice and safe. This is the final bit of the road, I promise. This is for a future episode where I'm going to put some little houses here connecting to this road. I'll quickly add some kind of weird service road so that people don't plop off the edge. And that's pretty much my road network done. So let's start building the slime shop. When I say slime shop, I mean a toy shop where you can buy slime. I've always wanted to go and see one of those. I think they exist somewhere. And I'm going to build this one with white wood. I should maybe build it with stone, but you know, never mind. It's going to have a big green window at the front, because I'm going to have a slime living in the shop at all times. He's going to be my friend. It's going to be a quite simple overhang, and that's going to act as a rain awning and a fantastic design so you can see inside. I'm going to add some windows at the front real quick, nice and simple, not too big. And then I'm going to have a look at plopping in a slime. Now that's a little bit tricky, but once the box is done, I think we can have a little guest. He's one of those expensive slimes you can buy and take home as a pet. I tried adding the little ones, but it doesn't really work, so you need to use this command in order to spawn one big one that never disappears either. I don't want to kill him, he is a hostile mob, but he's in a box, so he's never going to hurt the customers, is he? Once he's nicely sealed in his little tomb forever, I'll finish the rest of the roof and then start working on the front of the shop. The front of the shop is basically going to have a lot of different little machines that kids can buy things from. You know, they call them gachapon machines, don't they? I'll add a simple sign to the shop, which in Chinese says Wada Shi Ji, which basically means Minecraft. And then I'll finish the shop front with a few more machines and some plants in a little planter box. I think it looks pretty good, and the outside is pretty much done. Let's have a quick close-up. Now we can work on the inside. The first thing I want to add is some stairs. I need to access the top floor, because people want to buy the slimes in here, don't they? That looks nice and neat with a little side panel. So I'm going to add some lighting real quick, and then start working on some shelving units and an exit sign. The shelves are going to be fairly simple, nice and green because everything's slime. Welcome to my shop. Let's buy some slime. I'll put some simple jars and other slimes on these shelves, make it look really appealing for anybody who wants to buy some slime for some reason. Over here I'm going to put a nice lit up one, and on the second floor I'm going to have another slime pen. That's where the slime dudes live. You know, you want to buy those, they're the expensive luxury slimes. I'll add some things on the shelf over there, a cookie jar, I don't know, some slime blocks, and then put some boxes on the shelf that you can buy. I won't forget the air conditioning unit because that's quite important too. slide those boxes in there, and then add some flowers on the ceiling. I think this looks neat. And then finish the downstairs area. I'll put a couple of paintings up and an apple on a box. That's slimy, isn't it? Now I'm going to put a kettle and work on the cash register. I think this slime shop's coming on. You know what? I want more slimes living here, so I'm going to add a dungeon to have one more slime. This is the Fabergé slime. You want to buy one of those? It's going to cost you a lot of money. Looks cool. It's a little dungeon, isn't it? On these shelves, I'm going to add lots and lots of little slime blocks. I'll add a purple chair and then beautify this area near the cash register with a couple of plants and things hanging up. It looks quite neat now. I'm happy with this slime shop so far. Let me know in the comments what you think about my slime shop. It's a bit weird, but, you know, people want to buy these things, I'm sure. On the shelves, I'm going to put wool blocks, which are supposed to be slime. Really, I want the kids to come in here and play with the slime, but there's no way of adding that. So I'm just going to have to build it with blocks that look kind of like slime. I won't forget to add the power jacks. I usually do, so there they are, one here and one there. That looks pretty neat. I'll add a few flowers at the shop front, make it look nice and beautiful. One little block of slime there and a couple of plants. I'll add a few signs to the walls and a few paintings at the back. That's pretty much my slime shop done, really. It looks really neat. I'm very happy with that. So now let's concentrate on making the bakery. This building is going to be roughly the same size as the previous, just a little bit smaller on the inside. I want to have a nice brown welcome mat and a sign and loads of bready type things outside the shop. I kind of wish I'd have made this one out of stone, you know, like brown stone. But never mind, here's some bread and some coffee on the wall. That looks like a nice sign. I'll add some windows real quick. This is roughly the kind of bread shop that I'm after. Wooden and decent. Add some vines at the top and put a little pillar with some bread on it. That's where you get the bread, isn't it? Outside behind the back, I'm going to add some drains. That's the utility space. Don't want to deal with that too much. And the roof, I kind of want to go for this weird thing, but it doesn't look right at all. So I build the cat shop instead, and then I'm going to work on the roof, make sure that's nice and flush. I don't want to have a crazy Japanese style roof here. It doesn't look right on a modern contemporary building. So once I've finished the roof, I'm happy with that. I'm going to finish the awning and then add some wooden bits for the bakery with a window. That's a pretty sweet looking bakery, isn't it? Decent. You know, 2 floors is good. Okay, I'll add some side panels and then fix the drains around the back so everything's nice and tight to the wall. On top of the roof, I'm going to add some of these little light fixtures or something. I don't know what they are. And around the side, I'm going to add these white blocks to act as like a gutter panel type thing. This is a modern contemporary roof. I like it. In the alleyway, I'm going to add some graffiti and put up the final bits of dirt and grime, make it look a bit dirty and disheveled. And I won't forget the cobwebs. You always need cobwebs near the AC machines and a third AC unit. Now inside the bakery, it's going to be brown. I kind of wish I'd have had this on the front of the bakery, but never mind. I'm going to use jungle blocks for this. They're in the Yuushya mod and they look really, really cool. Nice and dark with some fancy paneling on the sides. Red and white paneling, and the second floor is going to have a staircase here. So that little bit I built there is going to have to get filled in. That's a shame. But never mind, let's have a look at building the first floor. It's going to have lots and lots of different things, bread and cakes, and a lot of these are available on the Icreate mod. I like the baguettes, they look super. It's a little bit dark in the shop, so I'm going to add some lights in a minute. I think it's nice and neat with that one. Look at that one there, that nice square one. I'll add a light there and put lots of bread and other things that people want to buy. Cakes, you know, full loaves of bread. And I won't forget the cash register. There's some loaves of bread. What a fantastic bakery this is. I'll add some final details like posters and notes, and then work on the upstairs area. There's not much space to play with here, so I guess this is the very expensive bread. You've got to be very careful and very wealthy to come up here and buy these breads. I'll add a few carpets in there, a little chair and a table, and put some posters up to make it look really nice and vibrant. Outside the shop, I'll add some vines, and that's pretty much my bakery done. So next door, I'm going to work on the cat shop. This is going to have a yellow theme. The window is quite simple. It's going to be one of the Icreate windows, and inside I'm going to have a nice yellow platform to act as the shop. Outside, I'm going to work on the window frames real quick, add a cute little cat sitting there. And then I'm going to start digging out a basement. This shop's going to have 3 floors. The bottom floor is going to be roughly the same as the other 2, but basically here you can buy lots and lots of different cats. It's a cat haven, care home, I don't know, somewhere where you can rent the cats. Is that a thing? On the main floor, I'm going to build a little cat pen. Inside, I'm going to put 2 nice black cats with the persistence tag, and then add nice little lighting and things for the cats to do while they're in here. A basket of yarn and a few cushions. Around the shop, I'll add a few gifts and interesting things. A little table from the Crockery Cot mod again, and then add some flowers. Upstairs, I'll add another room for the cats to play in. Here you can see there's going to be a scratch post, and then some seating areas for people to have a look around. There's also going to be another cat area on the opposite side. This one's going to have a little tabby in there, and a little orange and white one. I like that. Put some flowers up, and then add the AC unit. Downstairs in the basement, there's going to be a door to this one. If you want to go and play with the cats before you buy them, I guess you can go and do that. It's kind of weird. I'll add a few chairs and tables and beautify it. It looks a really nice cat place. Certainly somewhere where you can go get a green tea and watch the cats. Is that something people do? Let's face it, pet store, nothing weirder than that, please. Outside the pet store, I'm going to decorate it with cat boxes. This looks really neat. I would totally go and buy a cat, then some bread, then some slime, and take it back to my restaurant hotpot because I don't have a house yet. Round the back of the grass mound, soon to be a school in the next episode, and the shops, I'm going to finish the road system, make it look decent and safe. It's got to be perfect, really, because there's going to be school kids crossing, and that's the school kids crossing sign, I guess. Make sure it's nice and safe, people can't park there. And then have a look at the alleyway. The alleyway is quite simple, gonna have a little bike there. Final touches, really. And that's my finished shopping area. I think this looks absolutely brilliant, to be honest. If you've liked this video, subscribe. Maybe leave me a comment as well. I've especially enjoyed making the shops. The road system was horrible. It was a painful build. I think it was a necessary process because eventually I'm going to expand this area to a ridiculous size. There's going to be all kinds of weird little houses and very interesting things. I'm Icicle, and in my next episode I'm going to build a school and maybe 4 houses. Maybe 4, I don't know, 2. It's been really fun making this. I'll see you next time.